Imagine driving your daughter to her new workplace for a few weeks, and the day you finally agreed to let her drive to work alone, she didn't make it back. This was the sad reality of the Holm family. Lisa Holm, a 17-year-old high school graduate full of life and ready to conquer the world, went missing from her workplace in the quiet town of Blomberg. After the news of her missing was announced, people turned out in droves to search for her, but what they found left them shocked. Who could have abducted Lisa, and for what purpose? Welcome back to Crime Mystic, where we cover solved, unsolved, and mysterious cases from across the globe. Today, we are looking at the case of Lisa Holm, which shocked Swedish residents. But first, if you haven't subscribed to our channel, please hit the subscribe button and like this video. So without further ado, let's dive right into this mystery. Located in central southern Sweden, Skövde is a vibrant urban center nestled in Skövde municipality and Västra Götaland county. Situated between the stunning Vänern and Vättern lakes, approximately 150 kilometers northeast of Gothenburg, this captivating city rests on the eastern slope of the Billingen. Skövde experienced a significant surge in industry and population during the 1850s with the construction of the Western Main Railway, which passes through the town. With a thriving community of 39,580 inhabitants as of 2020, Skövde cherishes its historic roots tracing back to the medieval age. The advent of the Stockholm-Gothenburg Railway brought about further industrial and population growth, shaping Skövde into a remarkable city. This is the city where Lisa and her family lived. Lisa Helena Holm was born on February 7, 1998, to her loving parents in Skövde. From an early age, Lisa displayed a vibrant spirit and a deep curiosity about the world around her. She was a compassionate and caring teenager, always ready to lend a helping hand to those in need. Although she could be a bit shy around new people, her warm heart and infectious smile quickly won over the hearts of those who knew her. Lisa developed a passion for exploring new places and immersing herself in different cultures as she grew older. Traveling became her greatest joy, and she eagerly looked forward to embarking on new adventures. Lisa's dreams extended beyond the borders of her homeland as she aspired to study architecture in Australia. Her imaginative mind and love for design fueled her desire to create inspiring spaces that would leave a lasting impact on others. After graduating high school, her overjoyed father bought her a moped as a gift to help her navigate around the city. Not long after, Lisa found a job at a cafe in Blomberg, a nearby town less than 50 minutes from her house. At first, she was scared of riding to her workplace, so her dad accompanied her to her workplace for a couple of weeks. On June 7, 2015, Lisa set off to work alone. Everything went smoothly. She completed her shift and sent a message to her father, letting him know she was on her way home on her moped. But she never came back. The discovery. Lisa's father waited for a while but didn't see Lisa. Concerned for her well-being, he went to her workplace to search for her, afraid that she might have fallen off her moped. When he reached her workplace, he was relieved to find her moped parked outside the cafe. But the relief quickly turned to anxiety and fear when he saw the keys still in the ignition and Lisa nowhere to be found. Alarmed, her father immediately reached out to the cafe owner and together they searched for her. They scoured the premises and the surrounding area, but there was no sign of her despite their efforts. Growing increasingly concerned, they contacted the police at 2147 to report Lisa missing. Authorities swiftly arrived at the scene and initiated searches with trained dogs, even searching a barn with multiple rooms, yet no trace of her was found. The first breakthrough came when Lisa Holm's moped glove was discovered in the nearby barn. On Tuesday, June 9th, the search team came across several belongings that belonged to Lisa, including her smashed cell phone case, receipts, and tickets. This prompted the police to release her name and picture in hopes of locating her. Despite an extensive search involving several kind-hearted volunteers, Lisa remained missing the following day. The search area was expanded, and the assistance of the organization Missing People was enlisted to aid in the search efforts. This time, around 900 volunteers rallied together to search for the teenager, meticulously scouring the region's woodlands, fields, and structures. During this time, a pair of earrings were found in the barn. After a little more search, Lisa's moped license card and keys to her home were recovered. On Friday, June 12th, missing people continued their search at the Martorp estate, a few kilometers away from the cafe. Strangely, two individuals arrived at the location in a car, claiming that the area had already been searched. This raised suspicions among the missing people representatives, prompting them to contact the police. Undeterred, they persisted in their search, and soon enough they found a jacket and a helmet belonging to Lisa. Later that same night, a devastating breakthrough occurred when Lisa's lifeless body was found in a nearby workshed, shattering hopes and leaving a community in mourning. The discovery of these critical items and Lisa's tragic fate marked a turning point in the investigation as authorities intensified their efforts to uncover the truth behind this heinous crime. The police immediately went to work. They barricaded the crime scene and took note of important details. Then, when the forensic team arrived, the area was dusted for fingerprints and DNA samples. A preliminary autopsy revealed that Lisa Holm did not die of natural causes. As the investigation unfolded, 3 previously questioned individuals were arrested, with 2 of them suspected of committing the heinous crime. Among the suspects were 2 brothers working as craftsmen in the vicinity. Lars Goran Venerholm, one of the prosecutors involved in the case, stated that forensic evidence had strengthened suspicions against the older brother, while simultaneously weakening suspicions against the younger brother. Venerholm expressed confidence that the investigation was progressing positively, emphasizing that both the 31-year-old suspect, who was released, and another woman arrested 2 weeks earlier were still being considered in the ongoing investigation. After the discovery of the teenage schoolgirl's body, a 31-year-old man of Lithuanian origin was apprehended, while his older brother was also detained and remains in police custody. The day following the police's confirmation of Lisa Holm's death, a memorial service was held in a packed church in Skovda. The cafe where Lisa Holm had worked became adorned with an ever-growing mound of flowers, candles, cards, and tributes. The 2 brothers were detained on probable grounds in the Skaraborg district court as murder suspects. One of the brothers' wives, who had previously faced suspicions related to aggravated protection of a criminal, was reasonably suspected of the same offense. However, she was released a week later and subsequently left the country. The younger brother was released 2 weeks later, although some suspicions persisted. However, the older brother was charged with murder based on technical evidence and taken to court. 1 month after Lisa Holm's disappearance, she was laid to rest in Satyrs Church outside Skovda, amidst cries and gloom. The suspect, Nerijus Bilavicius, a Lithuanian citizen who was accused of murdering Lisa Holm through hanging or strangulation, was found guilty in November 2015 after spending 5 months in custody. Throughout the trial, Bilavicius consistently denied the accusations, claiming that he never even met Lisa Holm. However, the evidence against him included DNA traces, in the form of his blood, were found on Lisa Holm's clothes and at the crime scene. Key technical evidence revealed Bilavicius's DNA on pieces of rope, as well as 10 items of Holm's clothing, both inside and outside, alongside extensive traces throughout the crime scene. Additionally, Bilavicius lacked an alibi for the day of the murder, while his computer contained pornography, and technical findings indicated that significant sexual activity went on in the shed. His attempts to dissuade police from searching the specific area at Martorp further raised suspicion. According to the prosecution, Bilavicius is believed to have overpowered Lisa Holm at a nearby barn opposite the cafe. He allegedly proceeded to suspend her from a water pipe in a nearby barn, ultimately strangulating her to death. The motive, the prosecution argues, was of a sexual nature. Investigators regarded the circumstances as particularly heinous due to Holm's young age of 17 and her physical vulnerability compared to Bilavicius. Police emphasized the perpetrator's ruthlessness and criminal intent, noting the suffering endured by Lisa Holm before her ultimate murder at the scene. The Skaraborg District Court sentenced him to life imprisonment and deportation. Not to be defeated, Bilavicius's attorney, Bjorn Hurtig, filed an appeal at the Gotha Court of Appeals on April 15, 2016. The appeal sought to challenge the sentence based on the claim that someone else had assisted or committed the murder and subsequently disposed of Holm's body, possibly involving the convict's wife. However, on May 2, 2016, the Court of Appeals declined to review or grant a new trial, thereby solidifying Bilovikius's life sentence. The decision of the Gotha Court of Appeal became legally binding as the Supreme Court opted not to grant leave for further appeal. In September 2016, he requested to be transferred to his homeland, Lithuania. In his application to the prison service, the 36-year-old cited language barriers and the considerable distance from his wife and parents as reasons for the request. Nearly a year later, in August 2017, the Correctional Service granted Nerijus Bilovikius permission to serve his sentence in Lithuania. However, his legal journey was far from over. Later that same year, in 2017, he won an appeal, and his sentence was reduced to 15 years by an appellate court in Šiauliai, Lithuania. Despite this initial victory, his legal battles were not yet concluded. In a surprising turn of events, the appellate court revisited his case and ultimately reinstated the original sentence of life imprisonment in that same year. The decision meant that Bilovikius would spend the remainder of his life behind bars. In prison, Bilovikius remained unpopular and hated among other convicts. He was often bullied and assaulted. Nerijus Bilovikius's story came to a tragic end on August 4, 2022. He was fatally stabbed in the throat by another inmate at Mariampol prison and passed away while being transported to the hospital. This was not the first instance of an attack on Bilovikius during his time in prison. Over 5 years prior, he had endured an assault where scalding hot water was thrown in his face. In their first interview since the tragic death of Lisa, family members expressed their disbelief and sorrow. They couldn't comprehend the fact that she was no longer with them, emphasizing that she had so much to live for. Despite their hopes of finding her alive, they now find themselves in a state of denial, still believing that she might return home. The family described Lisa as a caring and curious teenager who loved traveling and had aspirations of studying architecture in Australia. They expressed their gratitude for the immense support and dedication shown by people during this difficult time. Lisa Holm's tragic story reminds us that sometimes the greatest harm lurks in unknown places. Do you think that Bilovikius got what was coming to him? Or do you believe it fell short of delivering true justice? Let us know what you think in the comments section. If you find this interesting, comment and subscribe for more.